So for the grid report, we have a standard function module. The name of the function module is reuse LV grid display. So you will get this in the drop down while typing this. Reuse LV grid display. So this is the function module. It has importing parameter, exporting parameters, tables, exceptions, and source codes. So it is a standard function model. So we are not going to see any source code of this function model. We are just using that into our custom program to develop the report. So while executing this, there are some parameters which we are using in our report by passing some values to this. Like here is a I callback program. So the callback program is our custom program. Then PF status, if we want any uh, addition of buttons in the reports, or if you want to change the toolbar, then you can create a custom toolbar. Then user command is for interactive reports, means when we are doing any actions on the report, then it will give you the details in the next screen. Then top of page is to give you the header part in the report. Then structure name is to specify the report, how should be the structure of the report for the columns and the headers. Then layout we are specifying for the, if you want the layout should be saved or not, or the variant, means by default which variant you want to display in the report. Field catalog is to generate the columns. And sort we are using to by default the column should be sort. Instead of sorting the columns in the output, we can sort it by default. So if we have any requirement, then we can use this sort. Then save button is to save the report, means if the report is having any editable fields or the whole report is editable, then we want to save that into any custom table or standard tables, then we are using this save. Then rest of the thing we are not using mostly. So these are the main fields which we are using while creating the reports. Okay. So yesterday we have seen this part, the classical report. So today we will show this into the grid display. So here we have seen yesterday like this. I think we are not specifying in the initial, we are specifying this after. We will use this. We'll see what will happen here. Then after that, instead of under, I will use the same 15. So I will remove this part under. So I have specified more distance here. That's why I'm getting this. We'll see. We'll remove this column. The batch is empty. That's why it is not printing. So in this way, we can do the classical reports. Okay, so now I'm converting this classical report into grid.
So in real project, we have to do like this manually.
No, nowadays we are not using a classical. We are
Okay,
using,
so
yeah.
there in classical report we have events. Okay,
Mm.
so that events we are also not use.
Yeah, events we will use. Events are the same. Okay,
Okay.
but the view of the report is changed. So for classical, we are doing this manually. But
Okay.
events are the same events we are using and the same code for the events we are using.
Okay. So
So
nowadays ALV is using.
yes, yes, ALV is to be using. So this why I'm explaining you because what happens, some of the projects or some of the organizations is having old projects since long time they are running, and they are using the same report which is developed in classical way, and they don't want to change, or they don't want to migrate from that classical to new updated reports. So in that case, you must know about this also, that how to do the maintenance in that existing report. Okay, so here I will comment this part. The server is very slow. What happened? Okay, so now I am calling that function module which I shown, reuse LV grid display, and just click on continue. That function module is called here in report. So the parameter which I shown in the SC37 transaction are showing here. So by default, it is in commented format. So you have to just decomment it. Then the mandatory fields are the callback program, then field catalog, and the table, which is already, because this is mandatory. And always, whenever we are using any function module, always keep active the exception, so that if any error we have in that, then we will get uh, the clear message that what is that error. Okay. So we have already a table in which we have fetched the data, passing this IT underscore VBAP, and sometimes it's not required, but it is good if you can specify this a table square bracket. So this indicates that this ITVBAP is a table. Sometimes what happen, we are declaring the internal tables with header lines. Okay, I will show you that one also. And here the current program name, we need to specify the current program name. So there is a standard field. Told you about this. There is a SY structure which holds all the runtime values. So in that there is a one field rep ID. Sai rep ID means it is, yeah, it is holding the program name, the main program name, not this one, the main program name, Z sept underscore demo one. Then next is we need the field catalog to show the columns. The columns, there are properties of the field catalog in which we have like the column position, length, then do you want hyperlink, do you want edit? So many options are there. So we are going to use this. So to create a field catalog, standard structure for it, I'm going to declare in the top. GT fcat. Fcat means field cat. Then type table of, you can say, or standard table of. Then sleeve. The sleeve is the type group which I shown you in the data dictionary. This field cat underscore LV. This is internal table. We also need the structure for it. So either I can create the structure in the local or I can create in the global also. So I'm creating a global CSFcat only type. It is a structure. If I'm not using a table keywords, then it is a structure, or you can say work area also. Using the same structure standard for it. Okay. So declaration part of field catalog is done. Activating it on the top because we have not completed the form part, so it will give an error. So now next is, so generally what we are doing, this part, display part, we are not writing inside this if we are using the modularization techniques. I will show you that later after this program. Now here I am specifying GT fcat. Okay. So if I activate, it is activated, but you will not see anything. The name of the headers, you will see only the values. The headers are blank. So to populate these headers, we need to populate value into the field catalogs. So before this function would display, I'm just specifying the field names. So the field names we can specify like this also. CS underscore fcat structure, then table name. The table name is IT underscore VBAP. The internal table name it is for which we are displaying. Then the field name. So you know the sequence of the field. So first field is VPLN. So it is a sales document. Then the text, sorry, field name is a technical field name. VPELN. And the cell text. So we have here a fields and options like S is for short, M is for medium, and L is for long text. Okay. So for demo purpose, I'm using directly the long text. So here I'm specifying the column name, sales document. Next is length of that output. So this is not mandatory, okay, but we can specify this. Output length should be like sales document is 10 digits, so we can specify 10 digits. After that, I'm appending this structure GSFcat append gsfcat to gtfcat. So this is one line or say one row records. This is one row record horizontally and it is appending into this internal table. So now the internal table is having only one record for it. The field catalog internal table is having only one record. So I need to add more records into this internal table. So I'm specifying clear. So already this work area has some values. So I'm going to clear this work area or a structure. So it is now cleared. Next, I'm copying the same and passing the next field name. Cells, it's line number, or you can say only line. So it has a 4-digit, but you can specify